All right, Shalom. This is the brother Nahalia from the GMS Orlando camp. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yasher Allah, and a sincere salutation to all you Akim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwath, who are believing this word, and all truth and in sincerity. This is Matthew chapter 16 and verse 1, and I'll read it in the NLT real quick. It says, one day the Pharisees and Sadducees came to test Yahweh Shai, demanding that he show them a miraculous sign from heaven to prove his authority. He replied, you know the saying, red sky at night means fair weather tomorrow. Red sky in the morning means foul weather all day. You know how to interpret the weather signs in the sky, but you don't know how to interpret the signs of the times. All right, and I want to go into a lesson on this through the Spirit. You know that prophecy is the main topic, if you will, through the Spirit. And what I mean by that is the understanding of the time that we're living in and what stands to happen in the future, in the near future. All right. And that is important through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shai Shai. All right. And this is inspired by a lot of the things that have been going on this week. The topic of Wesley Huff and Billy Carson, the Maurice Price coming up to those brothers who were formerly watchmen for Israel Orlando. And what Christians lose in the space of talking about the scriptures is the understanding of prophecy. You know, they keep trying to debate their narrative and their doctrine without breaking down prophecy. They can't tell you what's going on in the earth concerning the will of the Heavenly Father. All right, let's go to Ephesians 5. All right, because when you look at Paul's letters is not just bringing Jake back to their heritage, but it's also reminding Jake of the time that they were going to live in. All right, concerning the perils. All right, concerning they shall say peace and safety and then sudden destruction. What you notice about Christianity as a whole is that they don't deal with prophecy at all. Most of them don't. You have some of them that deal with prophecy. All right, and a lot of times they deal with it in error because they're not qualified to break down prophecy. But for the most part, Christians don't deal with prophecy. All right, this is Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 15. And it reads, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. And this is why prophecy is our guiding light, so to speak. You know, prophecy tells us what direction we're headed into. All right, that eventually through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, that the prophecies concerning the destruction of Babylon the Great, the implementation of the MOTB, these things are going to happen in reality. We don't know the exact hour, but we do know that this is a part of the will of the Lord. All right, matter of fact, let's go here to Joel, the 3rd chapter. All right, and I want to start at verse 1. Says, for behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And they have cast lots for my people, and I've given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. All right, now I'm going to jump down to verse 9. All right, and it reads, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. And those mighty ones is going into the angels. All right. Continue. It says, verse 12, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. And the reason I'm bringing this prophecy out is because it highlights something that's extremely important in the midst of the time that we're living in, that the Lord's determination is to gather the nations in that Levant region, all right, for war. You don't hear Christians talk about these things. You know, you don't hear Christians talk about the MOTB. All right, they're so fixated on trying to convince Israelites that they're not Israelites, that they don't understand prophecy. And this is why they don't deal with it. Even guys like Vocab Malone, as much as he's followed Israelites across the nation and across the world, all right, he can't break down prophecy. At one point, he said Edom was done away with. And then he had to backtrack on that. You ask these Christians, who is Edom in the earth today? Because he has to be in the earth today, right? Because the Lord will come back to a world ruled by Edomites. So who are they today? And these are important topics. All right. And this shows you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah that they don't have an understanding of the times. All right. You do have Israelites that don't understand the times, all right, to a degree. But really, the Christians don't understand the times that we living in at all, man. They're completely lost. All right. And this is why, beginning with our apostles on down, the push toward prophecy is the main focus, so to speak, because we're living in very important times through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. Matter of fact, let me go to the Apocrypha, and we're going to go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 6 and verse 9. You know what? Let's start at verse 7. It says, "Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." All right. Again, this is something that's important. Because, again, when you read this in the GNT, this is talking about an age. It's not talking about the earth literally being destroyed. All right. It's talking about an age. All right. So in the Good News Translation, this is 2nd Esdras chapter 6 and verse 9. And it reads, Esau represents the end of this age, and Jacob represents the beginning of the new age. These are important topics when you think about prophecy in the time that we're living in. All right. And these are things that Christians can't answer. And that's one thing you notice about Christians in general. They can't answer these questions concerning the signs of the times. It goes deeper when you deal with the circumcision. All right, because when Yahweh Shah was saying that, he was saying that to wicked scribes and Pharisees who were trying to trip him up. All right, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, to be specific, in Matthew 16. But he was saying that you guys understand that you're Israelites, but you don't necessarily understand the signs of the times, which shows you that Yahweh Shai held prophecy at great importance. All right, let's get that in Revelation. This is Revelation chapter 19 and verse 10. And it reads, "And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship Yahweh Shema Shai. For the testimony of Yahweh Shema Shai is the spirit of prophecy." Which means prophecy is extremely important. All right. Because that tells us how close we are to Yahweh Shai getting on the earth, to Yahweh Shai making his second return, I should say. And to the natural man, the fact that Christians can't break down prophecy should let you know that they don't have it. Just for people who are on the fence, all right, which is a shock in 2024 that you have somebody that's on the fence about Christians and their understanding of the Bible. But the fact that they can't break down prophecy should tell you that they don't have it. All right. But really, it goes back to Israelites only being qualified to teach the scriptures, and a select few. All right. Concerning the elect and the laborers amongst the elect, who have been given a spirit, a measure to prophesy. Lord willing, we be a part of that number. All right. This is Matthew chapter 24 and 3. "And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?" Which shows you those who were close to Yahweh Shai were concerned with prophecy. The disciples that became the apostles, they were concerned with the times. They were concerned what would tell us when you were coming back. Esdras held the same sentiment, meaning they were well versed in prophecy or they were concerned about prophecy. You know, Paul's letters have a sense of urgency that lets you know that prophecy was important. And the reason I'm bringing these points out is because the institution of Christianity doesn't have the same sense of urgency when it concerns prophecy, which shows you they're not of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right. At this point, Christianity is a big business, but it has nothing to do with the proper understanding of the scriptures. And prophecy is the biggest point. It's the biggest indicator that they don't have it. All right. Because the Lord raised up prophets from amongst Israel. So it would make sense that only Israelites could understand prophecy properly, and only a select few. 2/3 of our people have been blinded under the commission of Yahweh Shem Yahushua to not understand this truth. So you think a heathen gonna pick up the book and break down something that Israelites can't understand? No, they don't have it. All right, this is Amos chapter 2 and verse 11. All right, and it reads, "And I raised up of your sons for prophets, and of your young men for Nazarites. Is it not even thus, O ye children of Yasher Allah, saith Yahweh Shem Yahushua?" All right, so only Israelites are qualified to teach these scriptures. Only Israelites, and again, a few, because the Lord is saying right here, "I raised up of your sons for prophets, and of your young men for Nazarites," meaning every Israelite isn't necessarily a prophet. But the proper understanding of the scriptures is going to come from the nation of Israel. It's not going to come from Edomites pushing a narrative out of the scriptures. All right, real quick. This is Romans chapter 3 and verse 1. And it reads, "What advantage then hath the Jew? Or what profit is there of circumcision? Much every way, chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of Yahweh Shem Yahushua." All right, so I'm going to read this in the NLT. Romans 3 and 2 in the NLT reads, "Yes, there are great benefits. First of all, the Jews were entrusted with the whole revelation of Yahweh Shem Yahushua." So it makes sense that in these last days, the Lord is raising up amongst the nation of Israel prophets who can deliver the proper understanding of the scriptures. All right. And this is a beautiful time to be alive through the Spirit, because, again, it's a cut unto Christianity. All right. Who have held themselves as the place where the proper understanding of the scriptures would descend from. And when you go into the scriptures precept upon precept, you find out that that's just not true. That ultimately the Christians don't have it. They have a narrative. But when it comes to prophecy, nobody really has answers outside of our apostles on down. Nobody else has answers outside of Israelites. Nobody has answers concerning prophecy. Just listen to a Christian try to break down prophecy, or anybody else, the Muslims. All right. Even the conscious community. Ask them what's going to happen toward the end of this thing. As we get to the end of the times, ask them what's going to happen. They can't tell you. Because ultimately that proper understanding comes from the nation of Yasher Allah. And the Lord has raised up our apostles and elders on down to present the proper understanding. And as the truth is being declared, it's also being made obvious what's not true. All right. And Christianity is just not true. All right. It's spiritual fentanyl when you look at it. All right. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 6. And I'll end it with this. Ecclesiastes chapter 6. Nah, you know what? Let me get this. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 6. And I'm going to jump down to verse 27. And it reads, "For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched." Christianity is deceit. All right. Verse 28 reads, "As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome. And the truth, which hath been so long without fruit, shall be declared." And now it's being declared. And according to prophecy, most people would mock the true understanding of the scriptures. The world is covered in gross darkness, like it says in Isaiah the 60th chapter. All right, so Lord willing, this was edifying. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yasher Allah, and a sincere salutation to all you Akim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwath, who are believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. Shalom.